How cool is that? So this is just like a big sprinkle. And that's what the back looks like. So welcome to part 4 of our giant nutcracker series. If you've missed the other videos, they are all on my channel. Make sure you subscribe so that we don't lose each other here on the YouTube. And you can go back and look and see how we made this giant nutcracker. Today we're going to be framing it and preserving our cookie. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to be putting together our nutcracker and we're going to use this resin. Normally I would use royal icing to assemble all of this together, but I want it to stick really well since we're preserving it. So I'm just going to measure a little bit of this into this cup. When you're working with this, you want to protect your hands because if it gets on your hands, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it off. And then this is the other part to the resin. And I just always measure it on the scale so I get the exact amount each time. Whew, that's hard to open. Okay, so we have 13, so we'll try for 26. So you want to be really careful and get this pretty much exactly correct. And you want to use something disposable because whatever this gets on is going to be done for. So I'm just using this disposable paintbrush here, and I'm just going to give that a good stirring. And you can see here we have our background that we did. I'm not going to pick up the cookie because I picked it up and it kind of cracked in the middle a little bit, the icing did, but this is the rolled buttercream. And it has a pattern on it. We use that stencil. If you're just joining, go back and watch the part 1 of the Nutcracker series. And so there's a little bit of a texture on it. However, it's been drying just since yesterday and it is pretty sturdy. I mean, if you press down, it's going to break and mush, but it's pretty sturdy. And then we have our frame pieces here. And so we're going to assemble the frame for our nutcracker. And I think one of these broke. Is this one? It broke. And so I just glued it back together with some royal icing. And then it has that buttercream on top, so it'll keep it pretty good. I just want to lay these out before I start attaching them for certain. Arranging the wood planks or cookie wood planks to make my frame and kind of swapping them back and forth. Sometimes one piece might fit better on one end than the other and shaving them down a little bit where needed. I just use a citrus zester and shave down the edges, or you can use a sharp knife. Just be careful you don't take off too much. You can always take off more, but you can't add it back on. Real quick, if you're enjoying this and want to see more cookie stuff in the future, please subscribe, like the video. It really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate every single one of you that have subscribed. Every time I get a notification that somebody has subscribed, it just makes my day. You have no idea. Also, I made a list of 20 different cookie themes that would be great to use this wood technique on, and it is on my website. I will link it down below, the link to the list, and it'll give you some good ideas because this is such an easy technique to use that looks realistic. You're going to love it. Your customers are going to love it, and you are going to have people's jaws dropping. I just know it. Okay, well, my phone died that I'm recording this on because I have too much stuff on there and I had to delete some stuff. So I didn't realize it had died. And I've got 3 of the sides put down. So I have one more side to put down, which I'm glad so you can see it. But this resin is self-leavening, so you don't really have to worry about working it too much to get it flat. But if it drips like down the sides, it will dry in a drip. And there's nothing you can really do about it. Okay, so we have our last side to glue down. Set that there. And use this little paintbrush here. Make sure this is actually recording. So you just want to make sure all this is coated where you're connecting these cookies together because we're preserving it. And we don't want it to mold or stink, get rancid or, whatever. This will be coated in resin, and so it will last a long time. I don't know how long resin usually lasts for sure to tell you, but I think it'll last pretty much forever. We just want to make sure we get all of that coated, because then once these are put together, we won't be able to get back behind there and put anything else. I'm going to put some on the cookie itself too. Starting to run out. Usually I make too much. Okay, now we're just going to fit that right in there and press it down in there a little bit. You don't want to press too hard. And then I'm just going to take my bristles and make sure I get in those little crevices there to just give it a little more support. Oh, look what happened. My corner of my icing broke. I think I can fix it. Oh, now I'm going to be showing you a puzzle cookie here that I did for Halloween that I preserved. These are all little pieces. This was made with rolled buttercream, and you can see it is hard. You can't hear it in this video, but if you tap on it, it makes a tapping noise. It is hard. It's completely sealed. There's the back. And I just laid all the pieces out on a piece of parchment paper. By the way, epoxy does not stick to parchment paper, so that is a great material to work on. And just put thin layer after thin layer, let it dry for a day or two, and then we'll put another layer. Make sure to get in all of those cracks and everything. And I even had a little piece of one of the hats break. I was able to glue it back on just using the epoxy, but I think it turned out really cute, and I think it's a great way to kind of add to your home decor even. I'll definitely put this out next fall. Have more support. Gosh darn it. And it turned out this fine. I'll try to remember to point that out to you. Should we get in right in there? You definitely want to protect your surface, whatever you do this on, because it does not clean up well. You should also use a ventilated area or a ventilation mask type thing. All right. So we have our frame put together here. Now, I think I'm going to have to mix up more of that. And cracker is a giant royal icing transfer, which just means we piped it on the sheet of acetate and let it dry until it became solid. And it's pretty much like a big sprinkle, like I said. You can use these to decorate your cookies that you're eating. You can use them on cupcakes, on cakes, all kinds of things. How cool is that? So this is just like a big sprinkle. And that's what the back looks like. You can see that pretty well. But yeah. All right. Now we're going to get out our little piece that I just put in the freezer a minute ago for his arm staff thing. And put it in the freezer so it would be really sturdy. And I see that that's going to be too big. Also think it would be really cute to do this and make it a rolling pin. You can do all kinds of things. Pink. Mm-hmm. A little boxing up, so you gotta kind of work quickly here. And then I'm gonna paint it when it dries. No. To be a staff in his hand, but I made it into a really tall candy cane. And the nice thing about using this rolled buttercream is you can kind of mold it just like clay or fondant. And so I'm kind of making it fit in this frame. And sorry for my head being in the way. I promise I'll rearranging it better. But I did end up and put some grooves in the candy cane to make it look swirled, and then painted it a gold and a cream color in each section. Also, if you're looking for a recipe for rolled buttercream, I have a great one on my website. I will link that down below. And guys, I did forget a little bit that he did have something in his hand. So I rolled out a little bit of buttercream and cut out something that we're going to put there. Yeah. Does he look straight? And then these little bows are just going to go like that on each one. Okay. This thing glued down. And when you put these down, you don't want to like mash them down on each end, because if they're not completely set on there evenly, then it's going to end up cracking. Ask me how I know. All right. Now we're going to flip him over carefully. And you can see that I didn't quite get any there. Yeah, this is would be a really good gift for somebody, like your mom, grandma, whatever, that doesn't ever eat your cookie that you give them, because my mom doesn't. She will let them sit there and they will finally mold. It's because she doesn't want to eat them. She knows I work very hard on them, and she wants to just look at them and not eat them. Another idea is, like, when you do orders, this would be a nice way to kind of give another option for your orders. There's probably a lot of people that would like to have a keepsake cookie from the orders that they get. So, I mean, maybe you could tell them, like, you could pick a design for a keepsake, and then you could preserve it. It may not be ready when their cookies are ready. Probably won't be, but hey, that looks pretty good. Oops, silver on his face. Now I'm going to put these bows on. I think those are cute.